I see the next two episodes, and I could care less about the next one, but I really, really, really have a stake in the one after that. So hopefully we can do two more tonight.
Are you guys good for two more? They're
Yeah,
shorter
I
episodes.
can do
Cause
2 more.
all right, nice. All right, so next
as well.
one is Gaara from Naruto versus Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So Luke, I'll start with you. Do you have any stakes in these characters or this matchup?
Toph, just because I watched Avatar, but other than that, not really. I just know her. That's kind of it.
You don't know
Like her
who
character.
Gaara is?
No, I've never watched Naruto. Or read it.
That's fair. Zach, I know you've already kind of made your claim, but just in case, any other thoughts? Do you have any stakes in this?
Not in the slightest.
I'd probably sooner watch
really-
Avatar than Naruto, actually.
I really do need to watch Naruto.
It's good.
Not Naruto. No, I don't need to watch Naruto. I need to watch Avatar.
Avatar is
Yeah,
better, but
I know Toph is like a real fan favorite character, and what
She's
I've seen
awesome.
for her, she's funny at the very least, but I don't know anything about her.
she's really
So-
cool beyond that.
I have no stake in this at all.
All right, Nick, what about you?
No real stakes in this either. I know more of Toph, just from what I have seen of Avatar. Like I haven't seen the whole series, but I was, pretty much participating in it during its like actual run on television.
Right.
And I know next to nothing about Gaara because I just haven't seen anything of Naruto. I started reading, the manga, but I haven't. Like I know next to nothing about the characters, and I'm just assuming this is because they're maybe both like Earth types.
Toph is an earthbender, and Gaara is a sand ninja.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm assuming it's kind of voting for Toph all across the board, despite two of you only kind of knowing Toph.
I mean, I'll watch the rundown first.
All right.
Yeah,
I would
me
say I'm
too.
rooting
I
for
don't-
Toph, though.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything about it.
Fair enough.
Throughout Death Battle, we've seen all manner of weapons and abilities, but these two combatants command the very earth around them.
Gaara of the desert.
And Toph Beifong, the blind bandit.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I will say, Toph is my second favorite Naruto character. Not Naruto,
What?
Avatar character.
Is a short,
Sorry.
Who's your favorite?
Hell yeah.
stick of a kid,
Sokka. I love
but he's
Sokka.
also one of the deadliest shinobi in the world.
Of the few episodes I've watched, Zuko is my favorite, so we have to beat each other up now.
Yep. No, because
Zuko's a lot of people's favorites.
Zuko and Sokka become really good friends, so we're good.
Gaara was destined for a
Good point.
childhood of depression and loneliness
Spoilers.
from the get-go.
Sorry.
It's been out for 20 years, probably.
Yeah.
Some people haven't seen it, like you.
Technically, he had a little help.
It's like saying spoilers for like Final Fantasy VII spoilers.
I mean, at this
I
point,
haven't
yeah.
played it.
You should,
Okay.
Kevin. Play it. It's
Okay.
good.
Literally, in the words of Masahiro Sakurai, when doing the Sephiroth demo for Smash, it's been out for 30 years. It's your fault that you haven't played it.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, but my friends can keep spoilers from me.
No, fuck. Luke, it's in the
Darth
Steam
Vader is your
family.
father.
Final Fantasy
Luke-
VII is in the Steam family.
Along with many other games that I also want to play at some point.
I
Should
am
that be at the
with
top of
Luke
my
on-
list?
I am with Luke on this one. Like, I'm not like scolding either of you, but definitely don't, put the burden of blame on somebody who hasn't gotten to something yet.
Too
Like,
bad.
There's a shit ton of movies that I want to show Luke and I want to talk about with Luke, but like I don't I don't blame him for not watching them. They're like a super specific thing.
There's a
Would
difference
you,
between
let-
like being spoiled something by circumstance and having somebody like intentionally spoil it for you. Like you wouldn't spoil it for me because you want me to enjoy it firsthand.
Right.
Well,
That is actually a
I will
good
just say,
point.
like,
I'm on Nick and Luke's side now. Stop yelling at me, please.
no, I'm not yelling at you. I was just saying, like, the caveat, like, it's always important to just give like a warning first.
Yeah.
Surely at the
Just
cost
in
of
case.
his mother's life, Gaara was destined for a childhood of depression and loneliness from the get-go.
Not
Huh.
even a minute old and already has a kill under his belt. Though, technically, he had a little help. because, you see, as he was being born, his father was like, hey, you know what would be awesome? Using ninja magic to seal a horrible monster in my son's belly to turn him into an ultimate weapon.
Were those the exact words?
Kinda. In less funny terms.
Oh, I wanted Tanuki as a pet. They're so fluffy and adorable, you just want to hug. Holy shit, what is that?
It's so cute.
Shinkaku's cool as hell.
Can't believe we didn't get this in the live-action Mario movie.
Question. Something that I've been confused about for a while. Is a Tanuki a real animal?
I don't think so.
Well, it technically is just a raccoon, but it's in like mythological terms a raccoon
Yeah.
whose testicles are so big it carries them over its shoulders.
I know that they
real.
have like
It's
mythological significance to them, but I don't know if it's like applied to like how some real animals have some mythological significance behind them and like some religions.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
I mean, in
Or is
in
it a completely-
Japanese mythology, it's like the kitsune, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
As such, he was shunned by his own people, forced to live a secluded
Blood type
life.
AB.
Well,
I don't know why that's important, but it is something we know.
It's not like Pepto-Bismol solving that.
Convinced his only option was to fight.
Guys, I need to
only
say this so
himself,
that we don't get
Gaara
like
became a
completely ridiculed all over the internet. Tanuki are a real species.
Oh, they are? Okay.
ruthless
Yeah,
killing
same with.
I thought,
Hold on.
I thought that's what I said.
Not all bad.
such
Why didn't they
as
have him fight
a
Sandman?
trait.
This guy is like the ultimate evil.
I don't know. This is better.
Gonna give him too much
And probably
credit.
closer.
I guess
He can use existing
it feels
sand
like
to crush
Sandman
the
would get
ground
fucking
around him
nerfed,
for
but
even more sand.
it's got some feats.
So
Like,
he's
you
never
know,
without easy
this is
access
so
to
niche,
ammo.
you know.
Despite this, he still carries a gigantic gourd of sand on his back.
It's huge. You'd think that'd be hard on his spine. Interestingly enough,
I was wondering why in like the before they just described his powers, I was wondering why in like the not title card, but like the screen where they showed like this character versus this character at the start of it,
Right.
why there was sand coming out of the backpack thing. I was like, why is
Oh.
it just like shooting out of there?
to how in Japanese folklore, Tanukis were considered to be so well endowed they'd have to sling their testicles over their shoulders.
That is what the gourd is based
But
on.
the thing is, Gaara's gourd is not carrying any ordinary testicles. I mean sand. Gaara has infused his own chakra into the gourd sand.
This directly links it to Gaara, making it much easier for him to control. He's so skilled with it, he can even forge weapons from it. bury
Okay,
people
so
underground,
that
or
kinda
send it into another person's
counters one of the things I was
bloodstream
thinking
and
of that could
control them
be
like some sort of
a
puppet.
win condition for Toph was
What is with it with doing that?
I was thinking like could Toph just take control of the sand because she's an earthbender, but if Gaara has a link to his sand specifically, then that might prevent that, right?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait
You're
for
not gonna
Toph, but I will.
Also, Gaara
Say this.
eventually battled
Oh,
and defeated
sorry.
Oh, no, so I will say this: like, this is starting to really smell like an environmental battle. Like, if there's no sand, it doesn't meet the definition for the sand that Gaara could control. Like Toph as an earthbender can just move anything that's fucking rock, dirt, or sediment. You know.
But
It is
Gaara
specific
does
for Gaara.
have his own sand.
Right. He always does have sand on him.
But a limited amount.
Yeah.
This absolute defensive technique is called the absolute defense. Pretty good name, really. Gaara's sand is so dense and fast, only someone who can move nearly the
I
speed
love
of sound
Naruto
can pass it.
terms in that they
Gaara can
describe
also
most
use
of their
everyday
abilities as
sand to create
techniques.
defenses
Oh,
such
As
yeah.
as
if,
sand
as if like
which
you could like
encases him in a
WikiHow
shell to
it.
solve
You know?
Unlike his automatic absolute defense,
In that world,
sand
probably.
armor is self-created.
It's just like
I mean, maybe.
It's kind of how
what's-
Jujutsu Kaisen is. Everything's a technique because you don't like. It's half bloodline, half sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Everyday sand to create defenses such as his sand armor, which
like,
encases
what's up,
him in
guys?
a
Obito
shell to
coming at
stop
you.
blows. Unlike his automatic absolute defense,
With
the
another
armor
sand
is
tutorial.
self-created
Here's a
and
quick
requires
way
a large
to-
amount of his chakra. After being resurrected, Gaara spent some time reevaluating his.
I don't know if
emotional
this was an
roller coaster of
acknowledge
life.
detail, but they also
Inspired
both have
by
an
Gaara.
eye thing going on.
Kind of.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Gaara
What
is.
the fuck? I'm gonna lose
Stop
my
hitting
gun.
F.
I'm not. I'm just clicking on it.
Clicking
F.
once. Do it again.
Naruto Uzumaki
I
Seems fine to me.
began to truly
I don't know, man.
his emotional roller coaster of a life. Inspired by Naruto Uzumaki, he began to truly understand compassion. His attitude changed. His people began supporting him. He even commanded the allied shinobi forces during the
Wait,
Fourth Great
Naruto's last
Shinobi
name
War.
is Uzumaki,
Yeah.
meaning his last name is Spiral.
Yes. He's named after food.
Oh, like
What
a
is-
okay, yeah, the
what is
Like
Uzumaki
his late
food.
father,
Yeah.
Gaara also became
A zombie?
Kazekage.
Damn! Well, even non-zombie and missing Shukaku, Gaara still retained his powerful chakra and skill over sand.
In their fight, Gaara was so powerful, his father mistook him for Shikaku itself. Despite
Does
the
Shinobi
sand
just mean
monster
ninja?
being long gone.
Powerful
Gaara is
ninja.
stronger and smarter than ever, all thanks to his mother's love. I miss Mama Boomstick.
Few can withstand the overwhelming power of this sand shinobi. Or Mama Boomstick's cooking.
Hey! You're uninvited
Is
to
Boomstick a
Sand
lineage?
I never was.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's a title.
Pep.
Why? It's supposed to be a dramatic moment and you ruined it.
Yeah. 'Cause we can't have serious moments. We have to make comedy out of them.
As the
I'll kill
only
myself if I
child
don't
of the
watch,
Rocky Bay
Naruto
family,
and that doesn't
Toph
happen.
was kept secret from the rest of
I'll
the
watch it
world.
with you and beep the
Hidden
sound
away,
effects.
She was pampered
Okay.
and guarded like a fragile.
My daughter is blind. She is blind and tiny and helpless and fragile.
Still, fragile is the last word that I would want to use to describe this chick.
Frustrated by her parents' stubborn coddling, Toph ran away from home at the age of 6 and ended up losing her way in a
No
cave.
matter what
Until
age I was
she
at,
rescued by
if
some
if I was like walking around with my
badgers.
parents and my parents
Yes.
yelled to somebody else that I'm like that I was young,
That you're
weak.
tiny and blind and
Yeah.
weak.
I mean, yeah.
No matter what part of my life I was in, I would be like, "Come the fuck on."
Damn, like, alright.
Like you're not even blind.
By some giant badger moles. Yes, they are badgers, and they are moles.
Imagine one of those things
Cool.
burrowing into your home. What kind of
I
pest
forgot how
control
big
do you
they
even
were.
call for that? Oh wait, I know. Fire.
Like Toph, badger moles are blind, so they took a liking to her.
Well, how the hell would they know?
And as
Big
the
puppy.
original artists of the craft, the badger moles began her training in the art
They can
of
sniff the
earth
cataracts.
bending.
These giant varmints taught Toph how to manipulate rock and stone. Using movements similar to the Chugar praying mantis martial art,
Deep Rock
Toph
Galactic
can
mentioned.
telekinetically throw,
Oh my
grow,
God.
shrink, and alter Earth in any conceivable way, making for some pretty down-to-earth attacks and defenses.
The badger moles also taught Toph how to see.
Wait, these ridiculous creatures
Oh, yeah,
are
like the
also masters of
ground
LASIK
sense thing.
surgery?
It's kind of like sonar, detecting the exact location and movement of a person or object through their interaction with the ground.
Okay, that's actually badass. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can see.
She feels every movement, every footstep, every heartbeat, so precisely she can even tell if a person's lying.
A woman who can always tell when I'm lying? No, thank you. Toph is so good at this that even her closest friends
Okay, Boomstick,
sometimes
chill
forget
with
she's
the
blind.
like. It's a child, all right.
He's also paying himself to be a really bad partner.
But don't
Yeah.
worry, they're reminded. In only 6 years, Toph had completely
I think that's the
mastered
character.
earthbending.
They improve on it
Earth
later.
Level 4 tournament multiple times under her
Bo-
stage
Boomstick's
name,
like
the
that
Blind
like
Bandit.
long-standing uncle
But
that you
Toph
don't really
didn't
talk
stop her
about.
training with just earthbending.
Very charismatic, but
First,
you don't want to
Earth
get too
proved
close to him.
difficult for her seismic
It's like
sense.
only in closed
I feel
circles.
the
You
vibrations of the
know.
ground with my feet, but the sand is so loose and shifty. It makes everything look fuzzy.
But she has since demonstrated her mastery in both sand bending and mud bending. She can also change the density of earth from sand to stone and back. And before you start making any density or hardening innuendos, she's 12.
Okay. But her greatest achievement is the
Bro's got
discovery of
limits.
an all-new bending art. One thought to be impossible.
He's a villain, not a monster.
Metal bending.
By manipulating the earthy composition within, Toph can bend nearly any type of metal just as well as stone. The exception being highly purified metals such as platinum.
Toph quickly mastered metal bending and went on to teach it to others.
She eventually even founded
This
and
is
led
actually
the
getting me
metal
interested
bending
more in
police
Avatar.
force.
Like,
It's
And
good.
After conquering Earth Rumble 4,
It's a very good show.
holding up a
I don't
building
think
the
I would
size of a
have
castle,
as much
defeating an
interest
entire
in
army almost single-handedly,
like the rest of the
and
show if I
pulling
didn't
King
know
Movie to a
this.
standstill.
Like,
And that guy's
the,
conquered an
the science
entire
of being able to
hostile state by
move
himself.
like the
Even in her
majority of
old
physical matter to me is fascinating.
Toph was
They
capable of going
bring some,
one-on-one
like,
with
cool,
the new Avatar, and her seismic
explanations
sensors
and like
locate
justifications
people
for
across the
their
world.
bending abilities
She
in the
knows
show.
Yeah,
when I've
it's fun.
lied and where I've been. Women should not have these powers.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That was at least more about adult Toph from Legend of Korra,
Yeah.
so. Alright. So we're going to start with Luke. Who you got?
Purely because I was initially gonna go for Gaara, and I still think that he would win. The things that they said about Toph shifted it to be less confident, and because I've been so wrong today, I'm gonna go against my initial instinct and say Toph. 'Cause I think there is a chance there. I mean, like, I haven't fully set in like what the counters for each other would be because of their similar abilities, but I feel like Toph would be the one to come out victorious. I don't know. I just got a feeling about it, so I'm gonna go Toph.
Alright, Zach?
Toph.
Toph? Alright.
I have no other words. I'll just say, Luke, last time you went against your baser instincts was Deathstroke, right?
I mean,
Or
I
was
kind
that
of
before
logicked that one out.
Yeah, that one was
There was
really
one-
tried to logic that one out.
There was one. We've done several today, so my brain's a little scattered. But there was one today where you were like, "I'm going against my instincts," and you were wrong.
I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just gonna be wrong no matter what I pick, right?
Maybe. Who knows? It's you.
Look, I mean, look at the scores.
Alright,
Well,
Nick?
I mean, might turn around.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna give a little bit of like a politician speech here. I've heard a lot of good things from both sides. You know, they do have this trend of, and I haven't quite like picked up on the outcome pattern of it, but they spend a little more time talking about one combatant than the other, like in a lot of cases, and it's very subtle, but there. I feel very informed about both characters now, like so much so that I feel like I'm gonna get into both of these franchises now.
Valid.
But okay, so in terms of just raw ability, like Gaara seems like he's got way more defensive abilities than Toph does, and Toph feels like so they hinted at this little thing here, but I'm gonna treat it as a red herring that Toph's like senses are impaired in sandy environments. But poetically, we were talking about this even before they started talking about the characters, that I feel like this is going to be an environmental dependent battle. Like the win condition is that they're not in the fucking Sahara Desert. Like,
Well, they did specify that she has since shown mastery in sand and mud bending.
yeah,
And that
like
she could like turn
since-
sand into stone, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the only takeaway of that idea is that between the two of them, I still think that Gaara has more control over sand than she ever will. Specifically, and that's because it's like an ability he was born with versus something that she learned. But I think that she has generally, I mean, she might have some defensives, but she has generally more range. So I'm still gonna go with Toph, and that's also kind of an instinctual thing right here.
All right, we got 3 votes Toph. All right, let's go into this.
Well, thought in the back of my head, Kai didn't oppose in any way to our opinions, so I think we're correct.
Or maybe we're dead wrong.
I also didn't.
Yeah, but we're all dead wrong together.
I didn't oppose any opinions last time either.
You do not belong here. This is sacred ground.
I
Until
guess.
after.
Oh yeah, tough
Yeah,
guy?
until after.
Make me.
I am starting to get visions of whenever I guess. I like picture a ending where the character I voted for is being killed viciously.
Now, they have fucked me on using a rationalization before. Like, this is one of those that if I get some shitty, obtuse explanation as to why I couldn't be wronger, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to leave the call for a minute.
By the way, I can tell you're using your sand to smash up the ground underneath us for more ammo. Pretty smart for a sandman. Too bad I'm gonna kick your butt before you can use any of it.
I can't underestimate her.
Yeah.
That was a sonic jump.
I need time.
Huh? Whoa! Sorry, Grumpy. I'm not ready to be a shish kebab just yet.
Oh, that came from Gaara, I see.
Come on! Are you really that scared of a little blind girl? I'm touched.
There we go. Thinking time's over.
Your eyes. Those are not the eyes of loneliness.
Huh?
Like mine.
Oh, yeah.
They are blank.
Impressive insight, Gloomsville. I'm digging the whole wearing sand thing, though. That's new. Hey, no fair!
You need your arms to control the earth. I will remove them.
Dream on, creep. It'll take a lot more sand than that to take me down.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he's got some more sand on the way.
Oh,
Sun coffin. Sun burial. It is done.
I don't believe so.
Jeez, I almost felt that.
That's impossible.
You kidding? Pay attention, Sandy. I'm about to school you.
I don't know why she Dragon Ball power up there, but
Good architecture in those impromptu pillars.
a little goofy.
Gotcha.
What a scream.
That's how it's done.
Alright.
Oh, what? God, he didn't even transform once into his Tanuki form.
They said that they got ripped out of him.
I still felt like it was gonna be part of it. Like, despite that. I don't know why.
But hey, y'all got it right.
It got ripped out of him?
Yeah.
Oh, like the... Oh.
That was
like
the thing that happened.
She pulled it out of him by bending it out?
No, that was the thing that happened in the show, is that he got it removed.
Yeah, I still felt like it was
Wait,
gonna be
wait,
one of those things where, like,
giving...
they use that power no matter what. Because, like, it was part of their character at some point.
I mean,
Yeah,
they don't really do...
That's a little bullshit.
They don't really... It's kind of a weird thing of... Technically, that was him at his peak power. However, because of it, it was also, like, mental instability, and he was a way worse fighter, and he lost a lot because of it.
Was it actually worse, like, overall, then?
Yes, he was, like, he got, like, nothing done. Ever. With Shukaku.
Okay. I mean, at that level, he easily could fight Sandman. Like, a being of sand. Like...
I will...
Personally, I just feel like it would have been an interesting thing to add into the fight either way, even if he still lost because of it.
I will point out that this is not a liked episode, because one...
I can see why, like, that...
It has nothing to do with
saying...
Shukaku.
Oh.
For one, the animation's kind of eh.
Yeah.
But also,
It's early.
Gaara kind of beats the shit out of Toph. He's like completely outstats Toph. However, they had to kind of rush this episode out, and as of this, Naruto Shippuden had ended, but Ben didn't watch any of it. He didn't have the time to watch. He didn't have the time to watch any of it.
Weird.
So,
Okay, that seems
why
important.
Make the episode?
They had to. It was a planned episode, and Screw Attack was like, "All right, we want to get this out," and Ben was like, "Fuck, I don't have the time. I'm not finished, but fuck it, I guess." Screw Attack was kind of like that a lot.
Okay. I guess going against my instincts was the correct move for getting the point, but I was right in my instincts for who would have won.
Yeah, a little bit, but they don't really showcase that in the information a little bit. I think when they showed it, it was pretty even.
I think there's a simple explanation for that. It's that sometimes it's bullshit.
This one I can't blame on Death Battle though, because Screw Attack kind of screwed them on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Right.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like making taking the ultimate form like of a character away, like as their composite, or even like any of the defenses. Like I can't remember what they called the technique that his mother bestowed upon him, but like that shit should make him like Spawn here. Like he just has like fucking instant defense no matter what.
I mean, that's what was happening, but she can bend the sand around him.
Even so, like it just is a question of who has more control over that element. But like that's like making Eddie Brock do a fight with somebody without the symbiote. Like
I feel like that's a vast difference, because that's taking away someone's powers to taking away a monster that makes you worse at fighting but gives you a power boost.
that kind of was his power. Like
no.
Hang on, because apart from that, like how is he superior to Toph in any way? Like he can only bend sand.
Right. That's his thing. Shukaku didn't give him any other abilities. It just gave him I'm insane now mode.
And hence she can bend sand though, which makes him just a limited version of Toph.
Kinda.
Without this, but like, do you see what I'm saying? Like that was an exaggeration of a metaphor, but that it's still a significant point to be made. Like
It was a difference that could have been explored more.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But they were kind of going for what the current version of the character was.
Even if the outcome was the same.
But,
Goddamn son of a shit weasel! Why did another anime character have to lose?
Just watched Yoshi versus Riptor, eh?
Wait, did they just say why did another anime character have to lose when they're both from animes?
If you say Avatar's an anime, I'm gonna come over to that room and stab you.
I think Avatar is an anime.
It's an
not.
American-made show based on Chinese culture.
It's a Western anime.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Okay.
I think anime is broader than just Japanese.
There's anime and there's Western anime.
Look, Invincible is a Western anime. Like
No.
how? Explain.
Invincible is a superhero cartoon.
It has the frame rate of an anime and characters that fit the description.
Nick, we will talk about this when recording is over.
Lose.
Yeah, but here's why. Gaara's sand is monstrous, and its speed and power could easily.
I'm just saying, it's as much of an anime as Avatar is. I'm with Kai on
Swear to
this
God.
All right, we're doing another Civil War.
He can fly.
Oh, in the official behind-the-scenes extras of the Avatar Book 2 DVD, we found this. Toph can feel the Earth, even if it isn't connected to the ground.
Toph is tough, but her real strength lies in her precision and technique. With her earthbending and seismic sense, she could see Gaara's attacks coming the instant they began, regardless of if he was in the air.
I'm curious if they have an
While
explanation
Gaara's
for
chakra
why that
sand
works.
is
'Cause
controlled
my
by his
interpretation
late
of it
mother,
was
still
that she could feel things because they were connected to the ground. That's how that seismic sense worked.
I think she has a sense of all the absence and placement of like Earth.
The seismic sense is different from her sensing of Earth. She can just sense
Gotcha.
wherever Earth is, but seismic sense lets her see other things.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Sand. Just like in an earthbending duel, Toph was able to influence it long enough to misdirect or block attacks. Also remember, Gaara added his father's gold dust to the mix, giving Toph 2 different bending options just in case. Unlike platinum, gold contains traces of iron and copper, and can be metal bent.
To top this
All
off,
gold.
Gaara keeps himself covered in his sand armor, so Toph could always sense where he was.
And it specifically stated that the sand armor uses up large amounts of Gaara's own chakra, not his mother's.
You gotta
sand.
see through the sand.
So when he
Like
ran
when
low
it's
on chakra,
kind of
it
shelled on
became
his face.
difficult to
You
can
maintain.
see faster.
Thus, Toph had no problem turning Gaara's greatest defense into his worst weakness.
Gaara couldn't stand up to Toph. I know you're floored. I really ground that one in, didn't I? What can I say? It's my earthly delight.
The winner is Toph Bay Fawn.
No need to grab
Oh, wait.
about it. Can't we just bury the hatchet? I'm out.
All right.
Add it to the score.
Yep. We now
What
have.
are we at now?
So as of, I think we're doing one more tonight, and then, but as of right now, Luke, you are at 2025.
Okay.
You're the year.
Ah!
Zach is at.
It was meant to be.
Zach is at 4-2, and Nick is at 21-15.
Watch you
I
like
need the
misplace these
future.
files when it
Okay.
comes out next year.
Okay, I will say now, I actually changed my mind. Avatar is not a Western anime; it's a Western cartoon.
Thanks.
So neither is Invincible.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I was using that kind of rhetorically.